hashtags were the caption. I love this picture. It looks like so cheeky already.
We do look very cute there. So.
If she was here today and was to see you,
she'd be sat right here,
yeah,
speaking to us.
So Kalvin, start off with your mum, of course. Just talk about how important she's been to the point of getting here, sat on the sofa today.
She's one of the main reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing. Without her, I probably won't be in this position. I won't have the amazing people around me as well. So, yeah, I owe everything to her mum.
I love that picture as well. How old are you there?
Don't even know. I honestly don't know.
We've got a few other family pictures as well. So this is your younger sister. So just talk us through the relationship that you've got, because obviously you're the oldest, are you, in your family? So yeah. Talk about that role being big brother. I'm sure you're super protective. Yeah,
that's what I try to do. Try to be there for them all and, you know, look after them when they need looking after and tell them off when they need telling off. So.
Do you have to do that often?
Nah, not much, to be honest.
And also just looking at this gorgeous little baby picture here, so obviously you've got your twin here today and you're super close with her, but you were obviously a triplet as well. What is the relationship like and how is it different? We've
got an amazing relationship, to be fair. She lives with me at the minute as well, so yeah, she's a little bit of a pain sometimes, but no, the relationship we've got is amazing, and you know, there is times where there's been certain things where we either text each other on about something and she'll say, oh my God, I've like had the same dream or had the same thought as well, so. And
your little brother there as well, I love this picture, it looks like he's so cheeky already. So you've spoken before, I think, about your brother. You used to play Sunday League together and talked about being quite protective if anyone used to go in on a hard tackle on him.
I think it's just the nature of being, you know, a big brother. From a young age, I've always wanted to look after him. I've always wanted to be there for him, and you know, even though he's bigger than me now.
Matching outfits nowadays as well, or?
No, to be fair, I used to moan to my mum all the time about matching. She used to always get us matching, and I can remember being younger and always saying to my mum, "No, I don't want the same clothes as Turl. I want to have different clothes." But you know, we do look very cute there. So.
Then this, I mean, the picture's great in itself. The thing I love, because everyone's got this, when we all first had Instagram, the hashtags were the caption. So for me, the Instamania, hashtag share page, hashtag follow me. You've got like nearly 800,000 followers, hashtag follow me. I'm just obsessed with
This was our prom. Obviously, it was a big deal for me and my sister. And Gran came over and we had a little bit of champagne with us. And
you had a bit of hashtag champagne.
Yeah. And yeah, it was just a nice moment. Obviously, you know, a picture to go with it. And obviously, my Gran's no longer here with us, so it's just nice, the nice pictures to just remember about.
Yeah, so nice. And then got a picture of siblings, mum. You talk a lot about family and how those sort of values really make you who you are. Just talk us through the importance of everyone in this photo.
It's hard to put into words, to be honest. I think, like I said before, the reason that I do this and, you know, I want to make, you know, everyone proud is because of these guys, and, you know, my family. I always want to do the best I can for them, and I always want to make them proud. And sometimes, you know, I can get lost in my own little world and make decisions about them, but, you know, I think the most important decisions that I've made, I've always had them close, and, you know, this is one of them, so, you know, I'm happy that I've involved them all in it.
Yeah. Next, obviously, we've got Granny Val here. I feel like everyone feels like they just know her. If she was here today and was to see you sat here, what would she be saying? Would she be saying, have you checked and signed the contract?
She'd be sat right here, speaking to us. Nah, obviously, you know, she was an amazing woman, and, you know, you can tell before as well when, you know, I was supposedly going to leave Leeds, she had a big say in that, and I think, you know, she would have been happy with my decision. I've always wanted me to follow my dreams, and, you know, I've always wanted to play, you know, for the best teams, and, you know, Man City is one of the best teams in the world, so I think she'd be pretty happy. I think so. It's hard to say, but she'd definitely be proud of me. I know that. And
it's not too far from Leeds, so it's only up the M60.
Yeah, I know. It's not too far.
She'd have been happy with that. And we've got this ridiculous goal as well.
Yeah, I don't score many goals like that
I
anymore.
was going to say, we're going to see a couple of those next season.
Yeah, that was against United as well, to be fair. So
Yeah.
I think, a lot of Man City fans would be happy about that. But yeah, I'd like to recreate it, obviously. I don't really score many goals now, so hopefully in the next few seasons I can add a few more.
Love this. Do you remember what you were doing at that time?
I was speaking to Luke Ayling in front of me, but I didn't even know the camera was recording. I just seen the camera and I don't know what I was doing. I just did that and somebody recorded it and sent me it. So
Have to get one in the tunnel,
yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Then this is a really powerful picture, and you've put in your caption there about how proud you are of your Jamaican heritage. Just talk us through that.
It was more of just what was going on at the time, and obviously still goes on now. It's about racism in football, and not just in England but all around the world. And it was just a moment where I wanted to show that I am proud of my heritage and where I come from and my background as well.
And then looking back to your time at Leeds, we've obviously just talk us through this with Bielsa.
To be fair, this was the first time I'd ever been emotionally hugged by him and me hugging him back. It was, you want a manager that really got close to his players. He was very reserved, and I think that was just the icing on the cake when we got promoted, and to see him as happy as what he was. And
so obviously moving on to England now. So your first ever call up, just where were you, what were you doing, and what was the first thought as soon as you got that call?
I was in the car on the way to football. I was late, so I was rushing to football, and I got a phone call from my agent, and he said that he's got somebody that's going to call me, and it didn't tell me who it was. And he put the phone down. 2 minutes later the phone rang and I answered, and as soon as Gareth said hello, I knew who it was, and I didn't say anything for a good 5 seconds, and I bet he thought that he got the wrong number, or I was going to put the phone back down on him, but it was just because I was speechless that said that he wanted me to be involved, and it's an amazing feeling.
I can imagine. Jack, you have quite a good friendship with Jack, don't you? So what's he said ahead of your move?
He was very happy. He FaceTimed me while I was on holiday, to be fair, and said that he's going to be so happy for me if it happens, and it was nice. And I've known Jack for years. I've played against him for years, and to eventually play on the same team, at club level, it'd be a nice feeling, and just to be around him. He's a nice lad, and he's very cheeky as well, so I get along with him pretty well.
And then obviously we've got this Euros pitch here with Kyle. Yeah. Obviously Kyle is such a character, but he's great because he's got so much experience with him. He's such a leader as well in his own right. Just talk about playing alongside him, obviously for England, and then coming to play with him now.
I got along with him as soon as when I first went there. He used to walk past me and just Leeds, Yorkshire. He used to scream Yorkshire at me, and he was just how he is, and he's a good lad and a very good footballer as well. So I'm looking forward to playing with him.
Like you spoke about Granny Val earlier, so unfortunately, obviously, she didn't get to see you in the Euros, but it was such a nice way for you to mark it here with the shirt. What would she have made watching you in that tournament and the performances that you had?
Yeah, she'd have been really happy. She'd obviously probably give me a little bit of stick for not taking a penalty in the finals, but no, she would have been really happy, and I know that she's always looking down on me, but it's nice to see pictures like this because it just reminds me that she's a special person, and everything that I do and the family do is for her and in memory of her.
Amazing. No, that brings us to the end of our, but thank you so much, Kalvin. It's been great catching up with you over those. Appreciate you sharing that with us.
Thank you, it's been a pleasure.